Emma, huge congratulations on being the latest recipient, the 42nd recipient of the FWA Tribute Award. I don't know if you've looked through the list of names, some of the greats of English football. How do you feel to be in that pantheon of greatness?
I mean, it's an unbelievable honour. It's something actually I was speaking to the players about earlier, about being honoured by the Football Writers Association. You know, we know that we all work as part of an industry. My end delivering results on the pitch, but for everyone else delivering those results off the pitch. And I've always viewed, you know, those relationships as interwoven, and they're necessary for each other. But to be here down the road from where I grew up, a hotel I used to come to with my dad, no, it's a great honour.
And the first woman, I mean, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's worrying, to be quite honest with you. But we're here, can't go backwards, and looking forward to seeing, you know, a number of, you know, females representing the game in the room tonight. And, you know, I've never taken my position lightly or for granted, and I've always loved the job I've done. So to be here is, you know, a special day for my family and for me.
And you've always been innovative in many ways and outspoken and demanding more, particularly in support of the women's game. Is that important to you? Is it just the way you are, or do you feel like you are an ambassador, if you like?
I always say those titles always get like tagged to a woman more than they do a male, when all it just means is I've got an opinion, which probably most football managers have anyway. I think the difference is probably I've come into the sport where the women's game was in its infancy. So we had to structure build a lot of that around the game, off the pitch, as well as on it. And I didn't ask to be the person that I am, in terms of sometimes you're just front and centre of things because my role puts me in the media. But fundamentally, I just view myself as a football coach that's done a job that I've loved, with a team that I've loved in particular the last 11 years, and glad to see that the game's making strides in the direction that everybody wants it to.
And when you look back, when you were starting out, your dad encouraging you as well,
yeah.
Do you sometimes have to pinch yourself to how far you've come?
Oh, you know, I think when I played a game of Lego the other day with my son, and it was the Lego game where there's female players in there, he thought I was the female manager on the side. But he automatically just assumes women manage teams, whether it's men's or women's. The pinch me moments are more about that than anything else, that trying to change a narrative. When I think about growing up, aspiring to play in an FA Cup final at Wembley for Tottenham Hotspur and beat Glenn Hoddle, that scores of young girls and boys, including my son, are thinking how amazing a Millie Bright is or a Sam Kerr is, etc. And I think it's them moments that I pinch myself more about than I do the achievements, because all I really wanted as a child was role models. So to think that they have them, for me, they're my favourite achievements.
And of course, again, big win today, returning to winning ways, and a good crowd at Stamford Bridge as well for your win over Man United. It's growing fast, and there's still some way to go, isn't there? But will you have mixed feelings about leaving Chelsea at the end of this season?
I don't think they'll be mixed. I'll be absolutely distraught. I think I'm a bit of a sobber, to be honest with you, as I've aged, and I think I'll cry my eyes out hard in the last few weeks, leaving behind people who I've spent a lot of time with on and off the pitch. You can never prepare in your mind for that right moment. And I always used to say to myself, you know, you still want to do it when you almost think about being in a cup final and someone else is standing there on the touchline. Well, I think now I'm at a point where I'm looking forward to being in the crowd, coming back and hopefully watching Chelsea in many finals, and I've done my bit, and I certainly hope they welcome me back as a fan, because that's how I see myself.
And of course, a new chapter opening up, going to America, where it all started for you, actually, isn't it? And
Yeah.
will it be as much, obviously, a huge job, but the change of lifestyle, not only for you, but Harry as well?
I think the whole thing's a huge challenge. I think while we don't have a games accumulation like I face as a club manager, I think the challenge of all the things that the job involved, I'm looking forward to, because it's a lot less hands-on with players, but it means I'll develop another side to myself, and will have to work with the team off the pitch as well in a much different way to prepare for major tournaments. But I'm so excited to go to an Olympics and a World Cup. Like, what dreams are made of, to think that I'm in a position where I can lead a team out of the Paris Olympics and a World Cup in 3 years' time. Like, happy days.
And you mentioned your dad, obviously very
Yeah.
sadly passed away, but you came here with him. How would he be feeling about this tonight, seeing you here?
Oh, he wouldn't be here. There's no chance my dad would dress up to come here. He'd probably watch it on the TV at home. But my dad has been my biggest champion, and he pushed me like so much from a very early age, particularly in the space of women's football. I don't know what he saw in me, other than being his daughter, but he was adamant I was going to be the one that was going to drive the narrative, and he encouraged me to be brave and put my neck on the line. And he'd always say it to me. He said, "You make sure when you do the press tomorrow, girl, you make the point about this and that. It's important you do it." And I'd say, "Oh, Dad, I'm going to get slaughtered for it." And he'd say, "It doesn't matter. Don't look at it and walk forward, and the sport will be in a better place for the work you do." So I'm grateful, so grateful for him for those reasons.
Fantastic. Emma, enjoy your evening.
I will do. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.